Greetings, Gemini and Gemini rising. This is your Western forecast for August 2025. Before I get to where the sun is shining and where Venus is, which I always do, just kind of describe the mood, the needs, there's a rare planetary alignment this month. And the last time it even came close was 1844. What's happening is the four outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, have changed signs, are all in harmony with each other. So all of that instability with the planets changing signs causing a lot of anxiety and instability, and especially this first half of 2025 for the world. Now we're going to start slowly settling in to the next new chapter. But Gemini, fasten your seatbelt because you're about ready to take off and explode with new, where you really reinvent yourself. Why? Because the Pluto and Saturn and Neptune are all throwing harmonious influence to Uranus. And Uranus just moved into Gemini last month. Uranus is about freedom, revolutionary changes, especially technology, inventions, thinking out of the box. Uranus, and especially in Gemini, and Gemini is all about communications and new ideas. So for the whole world, now that Uranus is in Gemini, for the next 7 years, there's going to be tremendous advancements in technology and communications, all new ways of thinking. And it's really connecting to you. So Gemini rising, this month is planting the seeds, the opportunities with Uranus in your sign, or we call it in the first house, because Gemini would start with Gemini the first, and here's Uranus moving into Gemini. The first represents the self. It represents the identity. It represents your body. And Uranus in your sign is a profound time of reinventing the self. These major breakthroughs with new ideas, exploding with new technologies. Some of you, if you're young or even if you're older, you might be more open to studying and learning and being less afraid of technology. Others could be building new technological structures and apps and leading the way. Now, we'll talk more about that in detail later, bringing in the Pluto, the Neptune, Saturn, how that's also impacting this huge turning point for you. But let's start with the sun. The sun is in Leo the first 3 weeks of every year. Where the sun is shining is where your attention, your priorities are more drawn to. It's in Leo, which is 3 signs past Gemini. So what's being lit up this month, with not only that extraordinary alignment to Uranus in Gemini, but the sun is shining in your third house. The third sign of the zodiac is Gemini. The sun is lighting up this learning, this new ideas, communications. Mercury, the planet that rules and associated with Gemini, Mercury's retrograde. Mercury went into Leo, into your first house, of your third house, of writing and learning and selling, June the 26th. Went retrograde, remaining in Leo in your third, July the 17th till August the 10th, at which point it goes direct after you have much more reassessed everything, maybe did some tweaks, re-edited, revised, and now you're good to go with more confidence with third house matters through September the 2nd. So a lot of new ideas, because Mercury is the planet of information, communications, and ideas, and it's moving through the third house, the house of communications and learning and new ideas. Venus is the planet of love and desire. Venus is in Cancer, usually once a year unless there's a retrograde situation going on. And Venus moved into Cancer, which is the sign after Gemini, in your second house of income from July the 30th till August the 25th. Venus has these strong desires. Jupiter is also in Cancer, and as I've talked about previously, Cancer is the exalted sign for Jupiter. So Jupiter can give its best possibilities, its best, gifts once every 12 years when it's transiting through Jupiter, when Jupiter's transiting through Cancer. But in the month of August, it's being joined with pleasure-seeking Venus in Cancer, both in your second house of income. On one end of the spectrum, you could spend too much money, the time of really indulging yourself. But if you stay grounded, that Venus-Jupiter can awaken a lot of new desires for increasing your income. As that Uranus in your first, you want to start doing your own thing. And now, before I go further, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. Now, Mars is the warrior planet. Mars is ambitious, it's aggressive, it's ego-oriented. It's going into Libra August the 6th through September the 21st, about 6 weeks, which is once every 2 years. But the Mars is going to be in the 5th house. The 5th house is romance, children, vacations. It's a very pleasurable area of the chart. And that Mars could be all this strong motivation and desire to be having a really good time. But Mars being the warrior planet, be interested in sports. And the 5th house is the domain of children, which also likes to play, games and play sports. So Mars, once every 2 years in the 5th house, if you are open to it, you might be really excited and motivated to be more involved with physical activity and sports. But that could also be dancing, because the 5th house is all that entertainment and creativity. Now, the Sun is leaving Leo on August the 22nd and going into Virgo, as it does once a year, till September the 22nd. So now your attention is going to be more on 4th house of home and family and real estate. But let's look at family for a minute, because that Mercury is going to continue in Leo in your 3rd house after it goes direct in August till September the 2nd. The 3rd house can represent siblings or your close next door neighbors. The Mars, that motivated, restless Mars, is going into the 5th house of parties and fun and games and romance. As the Sun, the last week of August, is shining your 4th house of home and family. So you could be more towards the end of the month trying to gather the whole family with, and reconnecting or working with a sibling. And it could be for a holiday, or it could be through throwing a big party, a big family reunion. Now, that Uranus in Gemini wants to have all this new breakthrough, innovative energies, usually getting really involved with technology, communications, because of the Gemini, but especially needing to do your own thing, needing to have your own business. And with Uranus and Gemini communications, it could even be having something to do with an online business. Now, Pluto, keeping that in mind, Pluto is that planet of transformation and empowerment. It's in Aquarius now, first time in 243 years. Aquarius, an air sign, in harmony to you, Gemini, an air sign, in harmony with progressive Uranus in Gemini. So this Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years, so it's this slow development of ninth house matters. The ninth house can be going back to school, teaching, marketing, publishing. But when I look to that Uranus and Gemini in the first, and a lot of you may really be trying to start your own business or an online business, that profound transformational Pluto in the ninth deals with publishing and marketing and online businesses. And so the Pluto from the ninth of the publishing, marketing, is in the best flow of energy to Uranus in the first of all new ideas, all new ventures that it could be involved with the publishing, the media, the marketing. Ninth house could also be traveling, especially international traveling or importing or exporting. And Saturn and Neptune are going to be exact next February, so I've talked about that already in the past, but they're within a degree. So it's like they're setting things up. And Neptune is the dream, the vision, and Saturn can stabilize it and make the dream seem possible or start to make money with your lofty goals. This is the potential for the whole world. For Gemini rising, the Saturn-Neptune is in your 11th, because it's in Aries, which is 11 signs past Gemini. The 11th can mean that, on one hand, the 11th deals with your long-range goals and aspirations, and Neptune is the vision, and Saturn makes it real. So this could all come from, yes, marketing, publishing, communications, but some of you, this might be what the long-range goal that you've been striving for is a higher degree, maybe going to college or going back to get a master's or a doctorate degree. That's the 11th house. Also getting a lot of networking and support from others to help through your ventures. Now, so to wrap this up, I can't stress it enough that let me add a little bit more. So the Saturn and Neptune are also in Aries, a fire sign, in harmony with Uranus. So you got Saturn that brings stability and structure to all this new original ideas. Neptune brings the vision, so tremendous new insights to the Uranus. And transformational Pluto, excellent once-in-a-lifetime to Uranus, of all profound new insights and new beginnings. So Gemini rising, some of you it may just be a thought, and you keep thinking about it, but it's always way at the very beginning. And others will start to realize that what they've been seeking and working on is happening and is breaking through. I want to thank you for watching.